her quietly. That homesick look in her eyes, anxiously awaiting to cross the tide. Her family gathered round her, asked her what was on her mind. She just looked at them and then replied, I just wanna go home. All I wanna do is just go home. Seems like every time I turn around, Lord, I find another reason to go to where I belong. I've been waiting for this day to come, as others leave you one by one. Oh, I miss them so, and I just wanna go home. Now it seems like more and more I think about the other side, and everything that waits for you and me. How I'm longing to behold what these eyes have yet to see. Then I can touch what I've only dreamed, and I just wanna go home. All I wanna do is just go home. Seems like every time I turn around, Lord, I find another reason to go to where I belong. I've been waiting for this day to come, as others leave you one by one. Oh, I miss them so, and I just wanna go home. You know, I've lost a lot of loved ones along the way that have gone on to be with Jesus, but most of all, I'm longing to see the one who died for me and the one who died for you too. Amen. It's going to be a glorious day. Yes, I've been waiting for this day to come, as others leave you one by one. Oh, I miss them so, and I just wanna go home. Oh, I miss them so, and I just wanna go home. Are you guys ready to hear some fiddle? She's getting ready. I hope y'all don't think that's rude. My mama would think it's rude, but she ain't here. We ain't gonna tell her. She's getting ready. I want to share one thing real quick. Back in August, we were in Maggie Valley at a place called Carolina Nights Theater. Anybody ever heard of it? Nobody. Okay. I guess y'all don't get out much. But anyway, we were there, and it was a Saturday night, and they brought in gospel music throughout the year, and it was a dinner theater type thing. And, after the concert was over, the gentleman who had booked us there, his name is Joe, he came up to me and he said, well, now that the concert's over, I can share this with you. He said, this is going to be the last night that they have gospel music at this theater. I said, well, why is that, Joe? He said, well, the owner of the theater is not a Christian, and he just doesn't feel like the theater is bringing in enough money, And he's made the decision to turn this place into a nightclub. And he looked at me and he said, you know, I'm a Christian before I'm anything else. And I've made the decision that I'm going to quit my job here. I don't have anything else lined up, but I know God's going to provide. And I said, that's right. He will. Well, Carrie overheard this whole conversation. A few minutes later, she walked up to me and she said, Daddy, I believe that God is telling me to give Mr. Joe my money. And I said, well, Carrie, if God is telling you to do that, then you need to be obedient. Well, we went on back to the dressing room. And we were getting everything ready to leave. And Joe came back there and he was thanking us for coming. I said, well, Brother Joe, Carrie has something she wants to share with you. He looked at her and she stuck her hands in her pocket and she pulled out some money and just handed it to him. She said, God told me to give this to you. And he took it. He bowed his head and he began to cry. And he said, I don't know what to say. And I said, we don't have to say anything. Let's just thank the Lord for it. Amen. He looked at me and he said, but you don't understand. He said, this morning my lights were cut off. And I had no idea how I was going to pay that bill. Well, I didn't know how much she had given him until later. But I realized that this particular weekend, she had just had a birthday. And I don't know how they do up here, but back home, kids like money for birthdays these days. She had a lot of money that she had been given from family members. She had that with her, and she had money left over from some chores that she had done. And this particular weekend, she took every penny that she had with her. None of us knew what God had planned. I found out that Joe's light bill was $142. And she gave him $150. It was every penny she had. Now you can imagine how proud that makes a parent. Myself included, I don't know many adults that would do that. This was back in August, and we have told everybody about this. Every church we've been in, we've shared this. And when we began to share this in churches, people would come up to her and they would tell her, you know, God is going to reward you for your obedience. Family members told her that. We told her that. Friends told her that. And she believed it. Absolutely believed it. Weeks went by. There was no reward. And one night we were at home, and I knew Carrie was upset about something. So we went to her room and we were talking. And she said, you know, people have been telling me that God is going to reward me for this, for what I did. But nothing has happened. And she was beginning to doubt what she had done. She was beginning to doubt her act of obedience. And I said, Carrie, I said, that is Satan. That's the devil. He's trying to discourage you, trying to make you doubt that you did the wrong thing. But you've got to believe that you did the right thing. And he may not reward you through money. He may reward you in some other way. But keep this in mind. God knows no timeline. And he will pay you back because he will honor your obedience. Well, back in March, we were at a church in Rutledge, Tennessee, and I was sharing this story. And after the service, a man walked up to me and he handed me $150. And his exact words were the exact same words I told my daughter. He said, God told me to pay her back. There's a lot of young folks in here. And let that story encourage you tonight. God can use anybody at any age. Amen? Listen to Carrie as she plays for you. I want her to play another one. I'm trying to teach her the old songs that I grew up with. That's not very easy. See if you recognize this song. When no heartache shall come, no more clouds in the sky, no more tears to fill our eyes, all is peace forevermore. All night happy golden shore. What a day, glorious day.